Hello and welcome to Teaching My Cat to Read, the very serious book review podcast. I'm Eli.
I'm Em.
And I'm Lottie. And this week we are discussing everything about Gideon the Ninth on our special mini episode. Jingle.
One of these days, Ro is just going to remix every bit of audio they have of us going jingle, jingle, jingle and turn it into the music for the thing, and you'll just have to listen to this. It will just be us going jingle, jingle, jingle tonelessly.
We need that as a Christmas one, as a jingle gnome for Christmas.
Yeah.
But yes, Gideon the Ninth. We love this book. We love this book a lot. So much we're going to do the second book in the series, Harrow, the ninth, later in this series.
I love this series because you read Gideon and then you go, holy shit, and you go back to reread Gideon. And then you read Harrow and you go, oh my god, and you have to go back and reread Gideon and Harrow again. And then... and then
you see where they're going with this.
Exactly. It's combinatorial. You know, it's like triangle numbers. You have to read each one of them again every time there's a new book, because including having finished Gideon to be counted as a new book, because there's so much in there and there's so many twists.
Yeah.
I think there's a strong chance we're going to end up doing 2 parts on Harrow.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh no.
I know. What a shame. What a shame.
About books we love.
But before we get there, we're going to talk about Gideon some more, because we love her.
I'm very excited that we have as an available bit is of the characters in this book. Yeah, which one would be the only human in a Muppets adaptation?
See, I think you could be. I think it's probably the obvious thing is to go for one of the cavalier necromancer pair is a Muppet and one of them's a human, because of the whole lictor absorption thing. We can do puppet horror. You know, one of them disappears under the puppet, sort of thing.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of like maybe it's teacher or something.
Yeah, that's
I was
quite
thinking
fun.
that. Yeah. I think that would be quite fun.
Either that or it's Eiglerman.
Or just like the random guy who's guarding the locked tomb. Just
In the background.
No, that's in the background. Yeah.
Okay, no. Here's the better question. In the Muppet adaptation, right? So you're on the Ninth House planet, right? Which we think is Pluto, but like, and there's all these skeletons working the fields and growing up all of these tasteless vegetables. And
they get a musical number like the beginning of Treasure Planet where all the skulls
are
are
they
singing.
Muppet skeletons?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The beginning of Muppets Treasure Island has a bunch of Muppet skeletons.
Okay, I have
have
not seen Muppets Treasure Island.
I have also not seen Muppets Treasure Island.
What?
I feel this is something we need to watch and
we
then
do.
review.
Group hangout. The next time we're all in one room, we're watching Muppets Treasure Island.
We'll just do movie episodes of Teaching My Cat to Read, except it's Teaching My Cat to See.
But she's so bad at seeing normally.
No, is it really bad if we adopt a blind cat and then like you need to be able to see? That's bad, isn't it? That's ableist towards our cat.
No.
By that time, I'll have my little hamster, so I can put it in front of the hamster, see what the hamster thinks.
Yeah. No, it's teaching your hamster film theory. Is what this offshoot would
Unfortunately,
be. Right?
we would also have to learn film theory in order for this to work.
I don't think so.
But back to the book.
Sorry, we derailed Eli's opening number of the adaptation.
Segue 3.5 minutes into the mini episode.
This is why we're going to be 2 episodes for Harrow.
Who would be the only human? Yeah, I still think a background character, just like some random guy with, like
I do think
one
it's
line.
fun if it's teacher. I think one of the second house people has to be the blue beaky one, whose name I don't remember. He's pointy and he's grumpy.
I'm just thinking of Gonzo and Rizzo, but it's not them. I have not seen enough Muppets content.
The thing is, my only reference point is he's the first mate in Muppets Treasure Island.
I am googling it. Sam
Which
Eagle.
Is useless to
Sam
us.
Sam Eagle. I know it's Sam the Eagle.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, I do know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's
It's
one
not
of
the
the
Cookie
second
Monster.
house.
Is the Cookie Monster a Muppet? I don't know. He is a Muppet. Okay.
Which?
Well,
Okay. That we have a lot of mad scientists in this cast. So who are Beaker and the squeaky one? The mad.
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, Beaker is the squeaky one. Beaker and his pet mad scientist, whose name I don't remember.
I do think Beaker should be Palamedes.
Ha!
I don't know. It's speaking to me as a concept.
Yeah. Who would Gonzo and Rizzo be? Because that's an inseparable Muppet pair right there. So I think they'd have to be like
a cavalier, necro and cav, yeah.
Because on one hand, they traditionally in an adaptation are telling the story, so it has to be a pair that survives. Theoretically, it has to be some people who make it to the last scene, which limits our options quite considerably.
I mean, is it Harrow and Gideon?
Because Harrow is a scrawny little wet rat of a character. This is
true.
But that makes Gonzo the extremely hench one with... Hey, Tamsin Weir has said that Gideon does skip leg day. So her being a Muppet with no legs is actually very appropriate, or with tiny little puppet legs.
I think we've got this all sewn up, to be honest.
Also, I think Corona Beth has to be Miss Piggy.
Oh, yes.
100%. Hands
Does
down.
that make Babs Kermit?
No, I don't like that. I
don't like that either. Who's Kermit?
That's mean to Kermit.
Because
Kermit
I almost feel
better.
like Palamedes should... I mean, basically, we've got the problem is that Palamedes is like the only dude that we care about, so he's get every year.
Exactly,
I'm just like, well, is this Palamedes? But I don't know.
Is this a pigeon.gif, but is it Palamedes?
Yeah.
Oh, troublesome. I actually had another question for you guys. Because we have read a few different things with necromancers in. How do you think Sabriel would take being at Canaan House?
Oh my god.
Oh, I don't know.
There's an Abhorsen loose in the first house. No one knows what the Abhorsen is going to do next.
Someone must have written this fanfiction,
like...
right? Where can I read it? Read it. Listeners, if you have seen this fanfiction,
give it to us. Give it to us right now.
I'm going to be thinking about that for at least the next 24 hours. I'm going to be thinking about this. Thank you.
Because I think she would... The trouble is she's very competent. Unlike... that's not fair. That's not fair. But I think she would walk in and she would clock every undead thing in the house.
You know what she is
instantly.
that the others aren't? Is sensible.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is...
She's not melodramatic.
Her,
you know?
And her whole jam is like sending dead things back to, the different gates of death, which... sort of conflicts with the magic system that is in Gideon.
Yeah, what would the equivalent of Abhorsen be in this magic system?
Well, I think Sabriel's just going there like, there are so many magical OSHA violations in here.
Yeah.
It's just, this is a health and safety nightmare. I'm shutting this operation down. I demand to speak to your manager.
Although part of me feel like Sabriel would be buddies with Gideon and also chill out in giant aviators. Like, I think they would be buddies in that way, in that sense. I do like the question that Emma's put on our notes, which is, can Mogget eat a lictor? I mean...
Because I was talking to Mark about this earlier.
He would make the lictor? I barely know her, I think.
This is the thing, he'd have to care. Which I think...
Yeah, this is true.
I think Mogget absolutely... Mogget is there, they walk in, and Mogget absolutely clocks what's going on with Teacher. The seventh cavalier, whose name I can't pronounce, is... it's got too many syllables.
I've forgotten it.
I can't remember all of the syllables in the right order.
It's like Greek.
Yeah. But seventh house dead man, absolutely, Mogget has clocked that. And once they get to the final battle scene, Mogget's like, oh yeah, I knew about that. And everybody's like, well, why didn't you tell us? And Mogget's like, well, you didn't ask.
You didn't ask. I thought you knew. I thought it was obvious skill issue.
But that is
LDS
also,
ratio.
It's a very, I feel like that final showdown is a very classic Old Kingdom thing of, okay, we're really fucked. Somebody take Mogget's collar off and hope he likes us right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But they do eat fish. Teacher does serve them fish.
That's a true point.
You know, I think you could get Mogget on your side quite easily in that situation. Also, Touchstone is Sabriel's cavalier.
Yes.
Oh, obviously, yes.
Oh, and that's juicy because you're not supposed to be. You're not like
romantically. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So the other thing I was kind of thinking was, I think it turns out very differently if Sabriel is the one at Canaan House, versus if Lyriel and the rest of her weird magic trio.
Oh, she is absolutely just nerding out with the rest of them.
I think Lyriel is like, I've gotten distracted from, sure, there's some undead things running around and people are killing us, fine, but like, she's absolutely she's in her element, first of all. It's an enormous spooky house full of forbidden knowledge and monsters. She literally grew up
moisturized,
there.
She's thriving. Yeah, exactly.
That's like her whole deal right there. I think she has solved lictordom like by day 2, probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else.
And she and Dog have like looked at it and gone, yeah, nah.
I mean, I think she just find the library, read all the books, and then come be like, yeah, I solved it. I've done it already. Soz.
Lyriel is very confused about why everybody else is A, wants to do this, and B, is struggling with it. She's just like, oh, really?
Oh my god,
okay.
The most classic, like, ace thing ever.
Like, really?
Why is this such a big deal, and why are you so bad at it?
Yeah.
What if we had it the other way round? So Gideon and Harrowhark end up in the Old Kingdom universe.
Gideon fucking loves it. There are so many, like, cool people with swords doing magic. Gideon would be all over that shit.
I don't think Harrow would like it.
Harrow would hate it. Harrow is like, where am I? What is this place? Why does nobody respect or recognize the Reverend Daughter of the whatever the fuck?
She might be relieved to get away from, like, everything a little bit. She might be like, thank God I've been isekai, you know?
Yeah, there's a bit of a, like, there's an adjustment period of, like, oh no, my responsibilities, oh no, the crippling guilt. And then it's like,
oh, this is chill.
Actually, you know what? And, like, I think the fact that, like, if she could be persuaded to work on the Abhorsen side, which isn't a given, because her whole deal is, we love to raise the dead, actually, and the Abhorsen's whole deal is, we don't do that here, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if she did end up on the Abhorsen side, I feel like she would be like, oh, this is actually quite... People are relying on me for stuff I can very easily do. People are genuinely quite happy to see me, even with the weird bone makeup. I think it has this, like, very long, slow burn Harrowhark recovery arc, potentially. I mean, the funny answer is that she's just hopping mad the whole time, and Gideon's like, can we stay? And Harrow's, like, constantly bitching at people and trying to work out how to get back to her universe.
I wonder how the whole, like, oh, I've got the thanagy of 200 dead children in me thing.
Oh my god.
Tallies with the, like, can she cross running water?
Yes. I wonder if she gets there and, like, the Sabriel/Lyriel are both staring at her like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
They're like, your aura is rancid.
Yeah. Why are you imbued with so much dead energy? It's very like, this, okay, to my Abhorsen senses, this is one of the greater dead, has probably looked at the Ninth Gate at least twice and come back. But also it's a tiny, angry teenage girl with very gothic makeup and is clearly alive. Mostly clearly alive. Very scrawny, not very healthy, but definitely alive. What on earth? They try to do an exorcism. They're trying to exorcise her. That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I think Dog likes her. I think Dog is like, oh, a lonely teenage girl who's very skilled at weird magic? Sign me the fuck up.
I do also wonder, like, would her magic stop working if you think about the whole magic system of thanagy and planets that we get? And I can't remember how much of this is in Gideon.
This isn't in Gideon. It is not in Gideon. It's in Harrow.
It's discussed at length in Harrow, so I guess we'll get to that. We can revisit this question with the Harrow context later in the season.
I was going to say, we can take this the other way as well, because one of the other things I thought about was, on the one hand, I do love we're hyper-competent in our universe, and we're also hyper-competent in this universe that we've weirded our way into. But the Charter technically does not exist, probably, in the Gideon the Ninth universe. So are they all just doing free magic now? And they're all, like, massively freaking out. They're like, wait, I can't touch the Charter. The only magic that's available to me is free magic. There are so many necromancers here. Oh my god. Like, did the bells start corrupting them if the Charter doesn't work? Because that's all necromancy. That's, like, free magic constrained by the Charter. So do they start getting corrupted by the source of the tools of their power? It's all,
And then all of the sorcerers, or all of the necromancers from the Locked Tomb world are just like, skill issue.
Yeah, like, that's just normal being a necromancer. Do you think we have these weirdy little limbs for fun? Do you think we look like starving orphans who can only run an 11-minute mile and think that's impressive? You know, they're like, yeah, of course it corrupts. The whole universe is... where have you been?
Yeah. And then Sabriel's just like, damn it, you guys live like this?
Yeah. It's like, no, actually, I think we would like to go back to our universe now. We'll leave you to your fucked up little whatever this is.
Hey, we need to reinvent the charter from scratch immediately.
The door across universes is opened, and then Sabriel just closes the door and like, nope, I'm noping out of this.
Yeah. But technically, it's not the end of Ab Horsen for them to invent the charter from scratch. If we get representatives of all the bright shiners together again, they could, theoretically, if we got the whole gang together. Also, the other weird bit of synergy with this, which I like, is the whole death being a river.
Yeah.
That's tasty.
Which, again, we haven't really seen much of in Gideon.
No, it's not in Gideon,
a lot in Harrow.
It is mentioned, in the, where I've got up to so far in Harrow, but that will be in that whole Harrow episode.
I'm so excited for us to do that. That's going to be
very excited. And if you would like to go and listen to the entire episode all on Gideon, again, you can go and look for it all on our website. We've got all the links to listen to all the episodes on the major podcast platforms. But if you just type it into your search in your podcast platform, it will probably come up. And likewise, we've also read all of the Old Kingdom trilogy by this point, and a couple of the short stories as well. So you can go and find those to listen to as well, whilst you're waiting for our full episode on Harrow, which is going to be excellent.
At least one full episode.
At least one. We might have two.
I'm putting my stake in the ground now. I'm betting hard on this. We're going to need more than one.
I want to leave you guys with one last necromancer swap thought. Barry Blue Jeans
of the Adventure Zone fame. The Adventure Zone Balance, one of the greatest works of art ever produced.
Can you imagine?
That is the question we should ask on our Harrow episode. I'm like 100%. We should totally do that. But if you have any thoughts on Gideon the Ninth that you want to share with us, you can send us an email at teachmycattoread@gmail.com. Or if you want to recommend us a book to read, you can also do it there. So say hello, send us a message, and recommend us a book to read. Big virtual hugs, and we will see you next time. Bye!